podcast. It's your girl, Myia Dominique, and I have two special gentlemen in the building tonight. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get into the topic and why they are the two candidates tonight. Y'all can go first. It don't matter who go first.
I'm Dvante. I don't really know what else to say. I'm Dvante, and I'm happy to tell you my story.
To piggyback that, I'm James. I'm his father, and I'm gonna fill the gaps in his story.
Okay, so today's topic is there is power in believing in yourself and your future. I chose this topic for them because they have two interesting stories. I'm not gonna tell y'all all my business as to why I know their business, but I know the stories behind these nice young gentlemen now. So, with that being said, I'll let them go into what they want to tell you, and then why this topic is important. It'll all kind of tie together once they kind of tell. So,
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, growing up, it was kind of tough for me. I could say, all the way up until maybe I was a teenager. It was just me and my mom, my siblings. My dad had been gone since maybe I was 3 months old. So it was complicated for me growing up. But me and my dad still maintained a good enough relationship for me to know who he is and things like that. But at that time, my dad was in prison and the computer said life in all capital letters. But one thing that kind of kept me going was just going to see my dad and him telling me I know that the computer say life, but I ain't gonna be here forever. Just always understand that. And that kind of, as I got older and I started to understand, what he meant when he said it, it kind of gave me a little bit of drive to just know that one day he gonna be here with me. So that's how my life was growing up. Unfortunately, when I turned 18, I was outside. When I was growing up, I was no teenager in the streets with the wrong crowd. I knew what I was supposed to be doing. I was good academically, but I still wanted to be in the streets, with my homies. And that coincided with me getting into something when I was 18. And I went to prison for 5 years and 11 months. But throughout my time in prison, me and my dad built a very good relationship, through communication and through letters. We communicated the whole time I was there. And our relationship grew to a level to where it was he was never gone. He had always been there with me. And, over the time while I was gone, I went to jail. I was a kid. So I had to become a man. And I didn't do that on my own. He helped me in several ways that, I'm pretty sure he understands. But, it's just several ways I really don't really want to get into. But I'm pretty sure it makes sense. I'm pretty sure y'all will understand it. And then, when I came home, things was good. But I kind of struggled when I first came home from doing all that time. Now, I went to Memphis with my mom. I didn't know nothing about Memphis. Literally nothing. Memphis is slow. Coming from Chicago, going down there, it's what the hell am I doing here? What's going on? And wasn't nothing going for me. I couldn't get a job. And, I just was feeling things wasn't going good for me. So I was ready to pack my shit up and come back to Chicago. But then something just came out of nowhere, somebody who my mom knew, my husband, got me a job, and then I started working and things started to get better for me. And that was good. I did that for a while. And then, gradually I would come back to Chicago in spurts to visit. And coming back to Chicago, that brings back the old habits. And I ended up going to jail again for something else. And it didn't catch up to me until years down the road, and I went to prison again. So now I've been out for almost 7 months, and things have been kind of complicated for me now. But I just try to stay focused and know that it's all about me and my attitude and how I want things to be for myself, and try to keep my mind on doing the right things instead of doing the easy things, because the easy things always come with the bad consequences, things that I don't want to, happen in my life anymore. So like with the topic that we on today, it's just like, believing in yourself and trusting that the future holds better things despite all of the things that you've been through in your life. You got to understand that you're a master of your own destiny, and like whatever you want to happen will happen as long as like you believe and you have the desire for those things. Like I read a book and it said that desire is a stronger force than Mother Nature. And like if you think about what they're saying, it's saying like if you have the desire to be great, to be rich, to be a good man or anything, it will happen as long as you have that true desire to make it happen. Because you will never just become content with anything else until you achieve your goal. And then once you achieve that goal, then you find another goal to time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. See, I told you. Shit. I guess I could start just by saying basically that the topic is just so spot on. It's just crazy how things happen, right? I could start and kind of like take a little piece of his story and start my own. You know what I'm saying? Because when I started doing the shit that I was doing, I was a couple years younger than him. So I was 16, when he was born. I literally didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So but that's no excuse to what it was, that happened. And ultimately, when he was born, I had a whole lot of shit going on. I was literally juggling not one but two and three lives. You know what I'm saying? So, he know what that is. I choose not to dive off into that, but I literally was, doing three things at one time. You know what I'm saying? I was in the streets. I'm in the streets heavy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I had kids at a young age. You know what I'm saying? But that love for my kids was there. You know what I'm saying? It was just that tug at that time for the streets. It was just a little bit, it was a little bit more. And, that's sad on so many occasions, but, that's my truth. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, I started fucking with the wrong people. And at that time, you couldn't have told me that, but, looking back on that shit, it was literally the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? It's ultimately, I got so many avenues that I can go down. I was an athlete. I was book smart. That wasn't the issue. Sports. I was all that. You know what I'm saying? I literally could have just took my time, stayed focused, and been in somebody college. Been in somebody NFL or NBA. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's not an excuse. But that's literally what happened. That and then once that went away, you know what I'm saying? I literally was more or less like I felt like I didn't have nothing else to turn to. So now I'm really in the street.
Yeah.
Now I'm really in the street. You know what I'm saying? But in the crazy form or fashion, or however it is that you want to call it, them like 3 to 5 months that he was when he was born, I felt it. It was there. I wasn't, I didn't neglect them. Was I the best that I could be? No. That's just being real. You know what I'm saying? But when I was there, it was just something there, and you literally could. His mama will tell you that. It's instances that I remember when he was a baby. You know what I'm saying? More or less coming in the door crying, he crying this and that, crying that, and then now my presence and it's that kind of like ate her up at that time because of the fact that I wasn't around like I was supposed to be, but I still had that bond with my child. You know what I'm saying? So, and like he said, to fast forward, I fucked up. Like I said, fucking with the wrong people, man, and end up going to the joint, catching that natural ball, like he said. And at that time, I didn't realize the magnitude of it. I knew I was gone. You know what I'm saying? But it literally took a lot of things happening, you know what I'm saying, for me to realize, you know what I'm saying, the magnitude of that. You know, it wasn't just me, it wasn't just my mama, my sister, my brother, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the effects that it was and like he was speaking towards, I saw that he was an angry little kid. You know what I'm saying? But I saw that because his mother was willing to show me that. You know what I'm saying?
8-hour rides now.
She was willing to show me that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that from that aspect because she was younger than me. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? I was able to, you know, dive in and dig in on what I could at the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, that was one of the things that kept me going. You know what I'm saying? That whether she knew it or not, you know what I'm saying? Them was proud moments. I used to fuck with him all the time about it when I came home. It was an instance that I remember in the visiting room. You know what I'm saying? And this is crazy because I remember myself like, if these are instances, you know, in the penitentiary where I'm trying to be a father to my child, but I know I'm going back to this motherfucking cell. And you know what I'm saying? That's a hard dynamic, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't tell them, don't be like me. That's evident all fucking ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the joint, he a little child. I know if he don't understand nothing else, he understand what he went through to come see me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I never was that. And to this day, I've never been the preachy type dude.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's so crazy about it. My baby can attest to that. I don't preach. You know what I'm saying? I could go on and on about what I done did, and that shit is, you know.
That would make me not want to hear it.
Once again, I know my son. I don't want no motherfucker preaching to me. And ultimately, maybe that's what I needed. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But fast forward, you know what I'm saying? That instance in the visiting room, more or less, I asked him about his little girl. You know, and he told me. You know, he told me about it. So, bam, he come right off with her name. You know what I'm saying? Come right off with it. You know, so I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. So the next time I saw him, the next time he came down, I'm like, man, what's happening with? You know what I'm saying? This is something that I done sat on the whole time. Like, when you come back, I want to make sure I check on this. You know what I'm saying? So he hit me with another name. I'm like, oh, what's happening? Hold on. So it's crazy because I'm at a point in my mind, I'm like, he just like his daddy. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know what I'm saying, his mama there, I know what's what. So I actually appreciated that because I looked at that as a moment as to where now I can really tell him what. I ain't got to do it in front of her. So, and he can tell you I ain't missing the beat. I ain't missing the beat on the story. So I asked, I just asked his mother, I was like, man, why don't you walk to the end of this shit? So I ain't want it to be like I'm like getting down on him in front of her. I want it to be me and him. Mm-hmm. I want to try to build however I can. You know what I'm saying? These are you know. Now remember, these are times where I know I ain't coming nowhere. I ain't. You know, I literally know this is I got an L for real. You know, this is at the beginning of my incarceration. You know what I'm saying? So I know, you know,
12 years.
Yeah, I know I'm stuck.
Between the ages of me being like 10, like 15 when all of this happened.
Yeah, so I know what I'm telling them in my mind. All I'm hoping is that I hope he stick with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I know he got it in him, but at the same time, I know what the streets can do. You know what I'm saying? So I just ultimately tell him, I say, look, man. I say, I ain't going to tell you what to do, who to fuck with. I say, I ain't going to tell you none of that. I say, I'm going to just tell you this. Treat people how you want people to treat you. I say, I'm going to just keep it plain and simple. I say, you doing what you do. I say, you know, got your little girl, you doing what you do. I say, imagine her doing the same thing. That was one of the hardest fucking lessons that I had to come to grips with when I got locked up. Because at the end of the day, all that shit gonna smack you in your face. You know what I'm saying? So it was fun while it's happening. But, you know what I'm saying? I gave him that. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, he took it and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? So that was the beginning. and he bumped his head like I did. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I took that as an opportunity to give him everything I could. You know what I'm saying? So I made sure that that the relationship that I had developed while I was incarcerated, because I knew I was gonna be there. So, I made it the best way I motherfucking could. You know what I'm saying? I'm knowing I'm stuck, so I got to have it the best I possibly can in this hellhole. You know what I'm saying? So I'm building relationships with them hunkies down there in Menard. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I find out, that he done got into a little shit. You know what I'm saying? So I know already. And there's another thing that was killing him. Everything he telling me, I want to see, is he gonna tell me? I know already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just digging into him.
I knew he knew everything when I'm on the bus and one of the COs said my name and he like, oh, I know your dad. I'm like, right.
Definitely nothing to be proud of, but at the same time, I mean, that was a good thing, because what if he didn't know me? And then he would have went through the bullshit that I went through.
That could go a lot of ways.
It did, you know what I'm saying? And it played its part, you know what I'm saying? They instantly made sure that I was able to write him, he was able to write me.
Because usually it's like a process.
Because you got to go through some shit, you know what I'm saying?
So time that type of stuff, but due to the fact of people knowing who he was and the good rapport that he had with the people he had with, it was instant. I was there, and I got a letter from him within 3 days.
Yeah, so that was major. You know what I'm saying? So, and when he was gone in, you know what I'm saying, I had already built what it was that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I was good in the penitentiary sense. You know what I'm saying? And so I started using some of the capital I had for him. You know what I'm saying? And in turn, I just stayed in touch with him as much as I could. Learned about my grandbaby. You know what I'm saying? Learned about what was going on with him. You know what I'm saying? And then when he came home, you know what I'm saying? That's when he started going through the other shit. You know what I'm saying? That was the struggle. And I couldn't be there for him. You know what I'm saying? So all I could do was stay in touch as much as I could. So every chance I got, I hit him. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? I'm in Cali, Pops. I'm in LA. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling them, nigga, you better put something to the side, nigga. I'm telling them this. Because I'm like, man, do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? That not once did I, tell them preaching.
Right.
No, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta say though, the second time he bumped his head, the whole dynamics of my thought process changed, because I had just came home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting used to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through what I'm going through, just trying to get reacclimated to the world after serving 28 years. So, you know what I'm saying? Things going good. We was enjoying ourselves. We was all getting to know each other, me and my other 3 kids and him. So, you know what I'm saying? And when he bumped his head, I literally told myself, I felt like, he don't know, I ain't never told him this, but I felt like he gave me the right to reclaim myself as his father. Like, I done told you what's gonna happen.
I ain't gonna lie.
I told you what's gonna happen.
Disappointed. Out of all the people who I had to tell what was going on, I was disappointed.
For what he went away for, more or less. I told him what was gonna happen.
It was stupid.
I said, man, go on, take care of that, man. Go on, get that out the way.
Because when I told him what I was doing, I was being evasive and running from them people, he just told me, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'm gonna tell you, just go and get that shit out the way. You know what I'm saying?
Because they gonna catch up with you.
They gonna catch up with you. But you're gonna do. I'm not gonna tell you what. I'm not telling you to go turn yourself in. I'm just telling you, be prepared when they catch up with you. When they caught up with me, I ain't wasting no time. I got caught the next day. I took my time. I ain't even play with him. Then there wasn't no reason to play. I told him what I was gonna do, and he told me that's what I told you was gonna happen. Go and get it out the way.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
So, what you say?
No, so I was gonna ask y'all. Dang.
I told you wasn't ready. I told you.
Listen, the more you talk to them, the more you learn. The one thing I will say, they both had very confident mindsets coming back into the world. Some people I know come back and they go instantly right back. And I'm talking about instantly, not because it's something that they actually wanted to do, but they don't know how to survive out here. Like it's too much. They're used to what we know as the word institutionalized. They become so conformed to their lifestyle that this now becomes so hard for them to do. So to be able to have that mindset, like to tell your son at such a young age, I am gonna come home. I am gonna come home. Whether he knew that in his head or not, he still believed that in some way, form, or fashion, I just wasn't gonna die here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot to try. I'm a crybaby. I can't go to jail. I'm too cute. Tell everybody that. I don't care how crazy I be talking. I don't want to go to jail.
No, that ain't for nobody.
That ain't for nobody. I
Yeah.
on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
You gotta go mental. Like mentally, you have to be mentally strong
So
to go
strong.
through that.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, you will lose yourself.
It's too much other stuff that come with it. You know, people don't look at incarceration for what it really is. You know, they look at it for what it is on the surface. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I literally seen dudes, you know, come in with getting into it with their baby mama. This was before I even got my L. This was in the county jail. Literally, I done seen dudes, you know, that got a domestic violence because he done slapped his baby mama. He's scared to death. I got what I was charged with.
Right.
And here it is. He talking to me about that. He literally gonna spend a couple more nights and they gonna let him go.
They gonna let him go.
You know, but that's the difference though. That's one thing amongst the many things that I learned throughout my incarceration. Everybody in incarceration is different.
You see something and then you see,
you know what I'm saying? So you know, certain people gonna take stuff from it. You know, certain people is gonna let it conquer. You know, I done seen dudes that, you know, that they got the smallest of sentences than get it over with.
Yeah,
because they couldn't take it.
I done seen the dude that was at the end of his sentence and like something happened with his girlfriend trying to bring something in the penitentiary and she got caught and he killed himself. And he was gonna go home.
Yeah, so
granted he was gonna get some time for what happened, but it wasn't gonna be nothing major and he killed himself. I done seen a lot of people. And then you got the people who succumb to the medication and then next thing you know they just med it out, don't even know their name, don't know what type of case they fighting and none of that. They just in jail.
So your mindset, tell me, like, I guess y'all both can answer. When you going through those rough things, because I know we all watch movies. We watch movies. We were just talking about this the other day, and I was like, it really is how. And he was like, yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
And he's so animated. I get a full play-by-play. I'm talking about we move furniture.
I mean, like
he gives you a full play-by-play, like, bam.
It's
only one thing right here.
Things that you cannot forget. It's like
sounds
like
familiar.
it's just things that you cannot forget. Like, and then my first experience, I was so young. Like, I didn't know. I just knew about what I heard. So, like, going into the county jail, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. You know what I'm saying? I just was fortunate enough to get placed somewhere where there was people who I was involved with on the same place. So I didn't have no problems when I was in the county jail. And then when I got to the penitentiary I went to, just so happened where it was so overcrowded that they sent me to a penitentiary that was full of sex offenders and weirdos and homosexuals. And I couldn't believe that I was down there. Like, you know me, I'm 18, I get off the bus and I see this Geechee come out to healthcare with long hair and titties, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? You know what I'm saying? And then like,
hey, I remember when you wrote me and told me that shit, I was like,
I'm like, and then you know in my mind, I'm like, why the hell am I here? Like, I don't have a sex case and I'm not gay. Like, so what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But it was so overcrowded, they were just sending people where they were sending them. So, but when I got there, you know, I didn't play no games. I got right in school. I got my GED while I was in receiving. And then when they put me in population, you know what I'm saying, it was just weird as hell where I was at. And then they forced me, gave me this job in the kitchen. So I'm working in the kitchen and I'm, you know me, I'm staying out the way. I'm low. I'm not no dude who walk around try to be all cocky. Like, I'm in here. My daddy told me, like, as long as you mind your business, everything gonna be cool. So that was my mentality. Mind my business. And I always pay attention anyway. I'm not the type to just walk up on people talking. Like, I'm gonna sit back and look at everything before I'm gonna analyze the situation for days before I decide to say something. But they gave me this job in the kitchen, and like I told you, the penitentiary where I was at, what was down there. So these officers down there, they like to play with the inmates with all this homosexual stuff. And I don't play with the police, man. I'm 18. I got 6 years to do. At this time, I'm still like blaming everything that happened on other people. I'm not holding myself accountable. I'm not at that point yet. So I'm angry. And I'm going to take it out on these police because I don't like y'all. So the police want to play these gay jokes with me, and I tell them, like, I don't play with the police, man. You know, like, leave me alone. Like, I'm not with none of that gay shit. You be around here playing with these niggas, smacking niggas on their ass. I'm not with none of that. So, you know, like 4 or 5 days down the road, you know, I come in to work, he playing that gay shit. And I'm like, bro, didn't I tell you I don't play with the police? And he walked up on me and he put his finger in my face and was like, what do you want to do about it? And I punched him. And as soon as I hit him, I knew, like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. But it was already done. What was done was done. You know what I'm saying? And that made my bit hard because I went to SEG for months. They took time from me. They sent me to a penitentiary where I was in the cell for 22 hours a day. I was down there for 3.5 years before they let me leave. Like, see them there. That was a learning experience in itself because when the penitentiary where I went to, it was treacherous down there.
That's the repercussions that people don't understand behind that one decision that he made. That I knew already. That was something what he just described. I wasn't going through that. I wasn't going through that at all. I wasn't worried about seeing no motherfucker with long hair and titties. If I did, they had on a uniform and they was locking my black ass up. Other than that, it was motherfuckers that had big time like me. I was in the max joint. That was where he was at. There was motherfuckers with short time.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no, so y'all, you ain't feeling me. You ain't feeling me.
No.
You ain't feeling me. There was motherfuckers with short time. Motherfuckers that was going down there doing what they was doing in the institutions there, going back to the motherfucking city.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what all the motherfuckers he talking about. You had motherfuckers that was literally trying to get to where he was trying to get the fuck away from.
To chase them things.
On some real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that culture. You know, so that's a whole nother story within itself. But if you don't believe in yourself, to go not to stray from the topic, if you don't believe in yourself, you will give in to that shit. Because in all actuality, 7 years to a nigga might be an eternity.
Yeah, depending on the type of
that was
person
my
you
sentence.
are.
I was sentenced to 7 years at 85%.
And when he told me that, when he told me his sentence, in my mind, I wasn't like, oh man, he got in my mind. I instantly started telling him. I said, look, nigga, get in school, stay out of the way.
Told me,
I said, look,
what he told me
get you a motherfucker that, goddamn it, you know that gonna believe in you, where he can get you in shit. I said, look, don't be down there trying to be hard and shit, man. I said, use them people to your advantage, nigga. I said, and cut that time in half, man. I said, don't get stuck in this shit, cause I know how it happened. He, like he said, goddamn it, he did what he did. They easily could have sent his ass to a Mac.
They could have sent me to
They
Memoirs.
gave him a whole nother case.
Gave me a whole nother case.
You know what I'm saying? So that would have turned into something else. So I'm just glad that our relationship had got to that point, to at least where he started listening to me.
Because
he in the joint, you know what I'm saying? But at least he listening to me.
Now
You know what I'm saying? So
because when I got to where they sent me to, I ain't play no games. I ain't getting into no trouble down there. I got in college. I earned all the credits to get my associate's degree, all that shit down there. Like, I ain't played no games down there. I ain't getting in no trouble. Not one disciplinary ticket, not one fight, not one altercation, nothing.
And no, I'm telling them to do all this shit, and I can't even do it for myself. I couldn't do all this shit. For what? I had a natural ball. Shit, all my hope was tied up in the courts, and me, and she is just staying strong. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that it's gonna be a constant rotation.
So you weren't even able to like get no good time or nothing?
Hell no. Hell no. You know, all I was just able to.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be strong. What? He goes in like, and I'm not to compare the two, but I'm just thinking about like, I told you I'm not going to jail. But That's a lot. That's a lot to be like, I ain't got it. It ain't no way out of this. Like, this is it. Get comfortable, basically. Like, that's it. You don't have no.
Yeah.
But you go visit your son every day, every week, or however often, saying you ain't gonna stay. But everything else saying, you gonna be here. You gonna be here.
So like him being like.
And he never got in trouble. He ain't tell y'all that. He never got in trouble in all of.
I remember when we came to court for you to, for the resentencing, and all the people got up there and what they were saying about how they ain't never met an inmate like you, how you just walk around and you just have a life every day real smooth, and then you ain't never been rolled up in all the years they know you.
He walk around like that now.
and I'm just thinking like how mentally strong he got to be to do that, to be in that type of environment, because the penitentiary where he was at, like that wasn't no nice spot though. Like
that's what I'm saying. A max prison, you just like, yeah, no fights, no nothing, just.
It was a big thing for people, but to me it was easy. It was an either or thing for me. It was simple as that. It was as simple as that, man. I saw that the toughest motherfucker ain't gonna beat the system.
Now that's facts.
You could come through that motherfucker like you Clubber Lang or some, you know what I'm saying? You're not finna beat them people.
You can't beat them.
You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I knew I had a stretch. You know what I'm saying? I never put a number on how long I knew I was gonna be gone or whatever it is. I had natural life. I had natural life plus 30 years.
Which means if you die and come back to life, you're going to jail for 30 years.
You know what I'm saying? So all my hope was tied up in the courts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm appealing, and you know what I'm saying? And ultimately, man, you know, I caught a break. You know what I'm saying? The law changed. You know what I'm saying? And the age that I was when I was a dumbass nigga, it is what it is. I was 17. You know what I'm saying? I got locked up and arrested when I was 18. But the fact that what went down, I was 17 years old. That's what saved me. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of individuals that, you know, that miss that. That's still locked up because of that age. But that was my blessing. You know what I'm saying? And that resentencing he was talking about, that ain't when I came home. The judge gave me 80 years. He took the natural life and 30 years off. He gave me 80 years.
So he would have had to do
and told me
12
that I had hell no, 12 my ass. I'd have had to do another 14. You know, so and now in my mind, I'm looking at him like, yeah, I've been doing the right thing for 25 fucking years, and you telling me that I need to do 14 more years? You know what I'm saying? That in itself, you know what I'm saying? I had to shake that off instantly. Because of what he said. Because of what he said, my whole crowd is the whole crowd is my family.
And if he wasn't,
and they pumped up
strong like that, that would have made me like be down about it.
Yeah.
Because when I talked to him after that, he told me like, man, look, that's what he's talking about right now.
That was rough.
And then it ain't gonna. And all I thought about was like, it's the same thing he's been telling me forever. So there ain't no reason for me to doubt him now.
No doubt. And he was like one of the ones that knew. You know what I'm saying? I knew he believed in what I was telling him. It was more so now I got to let everybody else know that this is still part of the process. Right. It was part of the process. I knew I was still coming home because fuck what that white man said that day. I knew what he was supposed to say. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I knew I was going to come home. I just couldn't tell them, you know what I'm saying, when it was, but I knew it wasn't going to be 14 motherfucking years later. No. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, you know, just me having the relationships and me really started believing. Then I really, really started. You know, I was confident. You know what I'm saying? Because now the things that I do, I get good time for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now, now my mentality changed. You know what I'm saying? So now it was more or less my mentality didn't change now. Now I know I'm coming home. Now I'm really this is when I really started trying to wrap my arms around him and his brothers in the mildest way I possibly could, because the one thing and he'll tell you this, man. It's something that I told all of them from when they was kids. You know, every chance that I got to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one of them I talked to, you know what I'm saying, from the time they were the smallest to where they could understand what I was saying. All I wanted them to do was to be together as brothers. I really didn't care about shit else. I'm like, man, just get to know your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? And there was a point where I literally had lost contact with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I had to honor that. That was, you know, one of the things that, you know, I literally had to earn that. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? I got to honor that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I started living through my mother and my sister now with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they old enough. I know they know about me. I wasn't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't worried about how I was being portrayed. I knew they knew the story. They may not have known everything.
But
you know what I'm saying? I never once told them, I was like, man, your pops is innocent, you know, I'm this, I'm that. I ain't never came off like that. I always told them, man, I was in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And me knowing just them being on the north side, they was gonna hear about that shit anyway. I ain't saying I was out there like that, but they was around motherfuckers that I was with. You know what I'm saying? Because them the same motherfuckers that turned their back on me while I got locked up. You see what I'm saying? So I know these the same niggas that's out there, you know, this is my son. They know that's my son. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that I ain't got no control over because I can't talk to them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping that, you know, he don't fuck with them niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, cause I let them go. I let that go early on in the bit.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the main things that helped me. I let the block go instantly because I knew, you know, I was.
This is where I'm at.
I knew, yeah. I sat in the county jail for 3.5 years.
Waiting to still get another sentence.
Yeah, so for those that's listening, they know I was fighting some heat. I was fighting some heat, man. I was in the streets, man. You know, I was fighting some heat, man. You know, so you know, nothing that I'm proud of, man. But fast forward, man. I stayed in this as best I could, man. You know, I literally could tell, you know, you and everybody that's gonna end up listening to this motherfucker that I tell my woman now every day when I talk about him, I'm like, man, he gonna be alright. He gonna be alright, you know what I'm saying? Because when he was gone, I used to tell him all the times that I did talk to him. I started getting his ass instantly. I'm like, I started hitting him with his own numbers. I started hitting him where it hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, think about all that bread you ran through. Just the time that I had been home. I had just came home. You know what I'm saying? He was nice. He was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He was enjoying life. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I could appreciate that from a standpoint. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time he was enjoying life, I'm telling him, hey, nigga, put some of that shit away. Say some of it. You know what I'm saying? And then when it really hit him, now I hit him. Now I got the chance to throw them numbers out. Let that shit at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when ultimately I started finding shit out that I didn't know, period. You know what I'm saying? I found out that, you know, this nigga got boulders on his shoulders like I had the whole 28 now. You know, he been carrying the weight of his whole family, his mama, his brothers, her kids, her husband, all kind of shit, you know, and this was that time in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, damn. You know, now I'm really feeling what he going through. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm understanding, but at the same time, I'm knowing that can't be an excuse. Yeah, no. That got to be part of your solution. That got to be part of what push you forward. Because you didn't had it. I feel like he didn't have everything in the palm of his hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? Where he at?
Because like me taking care of everybody. Like That was what it was, but like I still was doing too much. Like I still was living too fast, and I wasn't thinking about down the road. And like I said, I was running from them people, and I still was just balling out, like just splurging, going crazy. Like when I ended up getting caught, I only had like $7,500.
See, only $7,500. Only $7,500.
So that just tells you how much money I spent, like how much money I had. Like I was doing.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Like I said, but I think it comes with the territory, and I say that because it's easy for somebody to be like, yeah, that's stupid, blah blah blah. Everybody gonna have something to say about everything.
Absolutely.
But ultimately, everybody's life ain't dealt the same way. Your deck of cards ain't dealt like this person's deck of cards. What you thought was living at that time is what you thought living at that time. You weren't the only person living like that. Oh. I bet you I can line up 30 people right now who have that same thing running and don't got shit to show for. So again, it's not about how you start, it's how now you're going to end it. You got it. You saw what it looked like. You saw what it feel like. You smelled it. Now ultimately you're going to go back this route and you're going to do something different.
It's more than that. Again, it's always about how you learn from something.
Yeah. And it's the lesson learned. It's not like you learned the same lesson. Okay, you learned the same lesson because you had to go back and do more time. Cool. But now you go out again. Are you learning that same lesson again? Where you gonna go back? Or you learning that same lesson? Like, nah, this is my plan. Is this now?
With me going back, like the circumstances that led to me going back in itself was just stupid. Like just to sum it up, it was dumb. But like. With me going back this time, it's like I was 29. I was 30 years old. I was 30 years old when I went. Like I knew what it was. Like mentally, I knew what to expect when I went to the county. When I got on the bus to go to Stateville, like my whole mentality was do everything you gotta do to get home, and that's what I did. Do everything you gotta do to get home. Don't get down here playing with these people. Don't catch no tickets. You know what I'm saying? Don't do nothing. Get down here and be in line. Don't be trying to fit in with these young niggas, because there's always young niggas who got shit going on in the joint that always, and then they gonna gravitate to a nigga like me because I'm cool. I be around young niggas. You know what I'm saying? I carry myself like them. So they gonna want to kick it with me. I know all the shit they talking about. All the shorties in the day want to talk about guns, drugs, music. I just came in here. I know everything. So that could lead to me getting into shit, but I wasn't having that shit when I went this time. I wasn't having that shit. I got right in school. I'm in school every day. I'm not fucking around. I ain't teething with no COs. None of that. So I made sure I turned that 24 months into 16. Shit. Yeah. So now my mentality is like since I've been out, I ain't been on shit. I ain't playing with them people. Cool. I ain't on none of that.
That was everything you said. I was like, yeah, he gonna be alright. How much time you got? Oh yeah, he gonna be straight. He know what he doing. I told her that. I said he alright. He know what he doing.
I wasn't fucking around.
I told her. I was like, I just hope this one hit. I said I hope this one hit different.
Me being my age, like when I was in there and I'm sitting around and I'm like thinking about like they put me like I ended up getting to Sully who was 18 like I was when I went the first time. Just so happened he got the same amount of time that I had to do when I was the first time. So it reminded me of myself being in the cell with somebody who was around my age and listening to the things that he tried to tell me about being in there. But I wasn't gonna do that. You feel me? I wasn't gonna do that. I'm gonna let you just see how I move and then tell you like what you gonna be doing in here that ain't gonna be making me hot. And then you gonna take that for what you take it for. You know what I'm saying? But like you ain't finna be
see what I'm saying?
You ain't finna be spicy.
You see how that thread? You see how that mentality thread? Real shit. He see himself in Shorty, but yeah, he see that this ain't where I want to be, and I know in order for me to get to where I'm really trying to get to, I need to be in compliance, so to speak. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah,
so look, nigga, whatever you got going on,
that shit ain't gonna be happening while I'm in.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. Now that mentality done changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that happened.
What you do affected me, and I ain't got time to be dealing with that.
You know, so.
But you don't think about that in the beginning. It takes you to sometimes hit your head. Yeah. Okay, so here go my last question for y'all. Where did you see your future? Like before? Well, nah, you got a decent one. You got two. Hold on. Where you see your future? But when you were, I say your second time, like you said, okay, I went in, I knew what I had to do. I was basically like, look, you finna get in line. Okay, cool. Your future, like what did you see after that? Like, okay, now that I'm here this second time, I know what I got to do to get out of here. But what was like the mentality saying, okay, what am I gonna do now in my future to ensure like this will never happen again? This will never be what I'm gonna do.
I knew that coming home this time, like that what my life wasn't gonna be nothing like what it was before I went, because of how everything went before I went, with me just living that fast life. So like mentally, I just had to tell myself like I just gotta come home and just be patient and just let things play their part with me, just getting myself together financially and where I want to be, and like just giving myself goals and setting attainable goals that's gonna lead to me getting to a point to where I can be comfortable financially, emotionally, all that, and like. It has its hurdles and everything, but like I said, I just stay strong mentally, and everything been working itself out so far. Like I said, I've been out almost 7 months, and things been making their progress. It's been slow, but it's been going good for me. And it's better than me trying to do shit that I know gonna land me back to jail, because I'm not going back to jail. I don't. Yeah, nah. It's just I don't want to do it. I don't got it in me.
I told him the first thing I told him when he came home, I know he gonna regret it. I was like, hey, Swanseys don't do penitentiaries no more, Playboys. So you got to think about something else.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he told me too.
This got to be your last bit, man, because ultimately the next one would have been the big one.
Yeah.
The next one would have been the big one, man, and I would have had to get him ready. I'm glad he got his shit together. So I guess I got the same question.
Yeah,
you say I got two.
Yours got to spin because before you got resentenced, what did you even see in your future? Like I know you in your head you like I'm coming home. You don't have no, like you said, you ain't put no number on nothing. Mm-hmm. But like, what did you see like for yourself ultimately before that resentence? Just like
that's a real good question, because ultimately, for anybody that know about the system, I had plenty of appeals. It's plenty of things that that I could have did just to get relief, or tried to do to get relief. And ultimately, I exhausted all the appeals. You get to it when you get to a certain point of appeals in the criminal justice system in Illinois. You go from the state, you exhaust all your appeals and remedies on the state, and then they allow you to go to the federal. They'll allow you to go to the federal courts. That way, if you get some relief there, the federal courts will tell the state courts what to do. So ultimately, you got all those federal appeals. Now, once you get to the end of the federal appeal stage, that's when they start asking for money. You got to pay to appeal then. Ain't no just, you go to the law library, put the petition together, and send it off. You paying for postage, No, you need. I think the lease form is like $750 just for a petition. So now I'm at a crossroads. This literally where I'm at. I literally will never forget it. I'm like, I ain't got no motherfucking $750. I ain't got nobody that I can call to get $750 either. Right. I got a motherfucker I can call, get a couple hundred. But ultimately, me trying to get $750 and me ultimately having the wherewithal to save $750. I'm not gonna be able to do it because I ain't gonna be able to maintain what I got going on in the joint. I need to eat. You know what I'm saying? I got to maintain. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. So I'm like, shit. Boom. I find out. I hear about a new case that ultimately might affect me. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, it might not. You know, it's still hope. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I dug off into that, you know, and found out more about that. And I was a layman to the legal aspect of shit. I knew about my case. But you know what I'm saying? But I like me telling, I couldn't do that shit. I wasn't the dude that went to the law library and could cite cases. And I really wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? I knew dudes that did that, and I was good at, you know, deciphering information from them and, you know, seeing if it applied to me. So ultimately, I'm like, damn, it don't apply to me. Because remember, I'm thinking it was 18.
Yeah. But the crime happened when you were 17.
Right.
And learning experience, of course, in the penitentiary. In the dealing with laws, it's all about language. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about language. You have to.
Yeah. It said the actual law said under 18. So that take out 18. If you was 18, it don't apply to you. But if you was under 18, if you was 17, 11 months and 28 days or 29 days and a couple hours,
your 18th birthday,
it applied to you. You wasn't 18. You know what I'm saying? So once I found that out and something told me, I went back and combed through my, because I know what happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, it do apply to me. Okay, so now I got that. Now I got that. Because I know this don't just apply to me, it apply to a lot of people. So it's gonna be some things going on. So I started writing letters. To people. Ultimately, I found out it applied to me. Ultimately, I found out in Illinois it was only 100 people that this was going to apply to, and I was one of those 100 people. So ultimately, right then and there, when I found out that information, I knew I was good. I didn't know how long, but I knew I wasn't going to have natural life no more. So that ultimately, all I did was just couple
into it.
Like, because I was already.
How far along? When you found this out, how far along was you into it?
Miller versus Alabama was 2012, so I had already been gone 16 years. Wow. So I had already been gone 16 years, so I knew how to bid. I was good on that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of shit that I learned about myself. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that I learned about my family. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of shit that ultimately I had to deal with, man. You know, I had to deal with, I had to accept. I just had to realize that, nigga, you did what you did, and this is, I had to deal with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but that really there was the beginning. I knew ultimately I was gonna get a chance to do the shit that they told me that I wasn't gonna do. So that's A.
That's A. Now, what do you hold now? Like for your future now, like what do you feel like keeps you going to be like, oh no, I'm good. I know this ain't my life no more.
I could do this all day. But on some real shit, I think the one thing when I first came home, I think the one thing that drove me was I felt like I was a failure in my relationships that I had before I was incarcerated. My kids, my mother, my brother, my sister, both of my kids' mother. You know what I'm saying? I felt like me straddling the fence. I was straddling the fence with me. I was straddling the fence with them. You know what I'm saying? I really, literally had the time to dissect my life because I told you I'm a numbers dude. I got locked up when I was 18. I did 28 years in the joint. I did more time in a facility than I did in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I used to think about that kind of thing, but I ain't used to let that weigh me down. I used to just be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? You know, I used to be like, damn. So when I came home, I was that dude that I won't say that I was Mr. Fix-It, but in my mind, I felt like I had a solution for everything, whether it was something you agreed to or not. Because I'd be like, what? What happened? Oh, shit, that's easy. Shit. He did it once, he'll do it again. So now that you know, now you control it. I felt like I had the solution for everything. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the worst fucking thing for me ever. You know what I'm saying? Because I forgot to implement that I had been gone for 28 years. There was so much shit about people that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? These people done had all kind of ups and downs in their relationships. And I'm just, you know, walking in this motherfucker like a savior because I feel like this is what I can do because I feel like I held it so long that I can get a motherfucker to see that, come on, man, y'all paying attention to the wrong shit. You need to pay attention to this. But the one thing that I've learned, you know, the one of the hardest lessons I've learned since I've been home is one that I used to live by in the fucking joint. Ain't that some shit? You know, because you got to know who to fuck with. You know, it was like the hardest lesson I've learned since I've been home is what bridge to burn and what bridge to cross. You know, because you can't fuck with everybody, and that includes family the most. You know, that includes family the most. So since I've been home, man, a few of the homies came home before me, man, and kind of like created a lane, you know, for dudes that have been incarcerated for, you know, the amount of time that, you know, we have been incarcerated, man. And, you know, he had a vision, you know, because I surrounded myself with a certain group of guys while I was incarcerated, you know. I fucked with everybody. Any motherfucker that know me through my incarceration will tell you that it's Swan is it. Like he said about how motherfuckers gravitated to him, motherfuckers naturally gravitated to me because I tried to keep myself upbeat. I ain't like that mopey shit. I saw what that mopey shit get a motherfucker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was athletic. I tried to stay on the move. I tried to stay doing every motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it. You know, bro was more or less like, man, I want motherfuckers to see who it was that I know. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the dude that I had became, you know what I'm saying? And that was my dude, and I was just like, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So now I get a chance to, you know, tell people about my story. You know what I'm saying? I get the chance to talk to these legislators. You know what I'm saying? I got senators, I got representatives in Illinois, man, that, you know, that I've actually, changed their minds, you know, about certain ways that they feel about incarceration, you know, and certain things, you know. Second chances is real, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's real shit. But I don't think no motherfucker will tell you that, you know, I don't appreciate this second chance, man. And I just know that the things that I'm doing, it's like no matter what, every day, you know what I'm saying, it's a blessing for me. You know what I'm saying? I just know that the shit that I done been through and the things that I'm doing moving forward in my future is gonna help so many more motherfucking people than I harmed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta find the balance in that.
A great optimistic way to think about something.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard than a motherfucker though. I ain't gonna lie. It's hard because I say this and then let you do your thing because in the penitentiary, and he'll vouch for this. Each facility is its own little world, right? So I can have a switch on everything. I can have a switch on my woman. I can have a switch on my mama. I can have a switch on everything because I'm only getting it a few ways. I'm only getting a letter. I'm only getting a visit, or I'm only getting a phone call. You know what I'm saying? So it's limitations on everything. That letter, whether it's heavy, light, whether it's whatever it is, I can put that motherfucker down and pick it up. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like it, I can rip that bitch up and forget about it. You know what I'm saying? If it's something I want to hold on to, I can hold it. If you know what I'm saying, I can use that as fire. Like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've been through that with his mama. I done been through that with my other kid's mother. Like, I kind of like use that as fire, even though I blame myself for the shit that they went through for a long fucking time. You know what I'm saying? And but I use that shit as fire. Like, you know, eventually I get a chance to do right. And you know, I'm literally getting that in so many ways, man. I'm literally blessed, but you know, this shit real out here, man. This shit real out here, man. You know, everything that I prayed for, man, I got. You know what I'm saying? 100 times more. You know what I'm saying? But I work for everything I got, man. You know what I'm saying? And I do it on a daily basis, man. And you know, I wouldn't want anything to be any different, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely proud of who I became. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely proud of who this dude gonna become. You know, because I told him I know he got a good future in him, man. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, naturally, through whatever the fuck you do, naturally you gonna grow out of shit. Naturally, that come naturally. You know it. You know you got stages in life. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing go with criminality. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you know what I'm saying, that shit gonna run out. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna end up one or two ways. But we know one way for sure. You know you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, you know and I always told him, you're gonna get tired of doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, so, you know, it's a lot of things that add to that. You know what I'm saying? So he got a great support system. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know my son, and you know, I ain't gonna dig off into it. You know what I'm saying? But the first time he told me about you, it was more or less like, he was like, man, Pops. He was like, man, Pops. I said, hey, man. I said, I'm just saying, man. Just remember what I told you, man. I say, we ain't doing the penitentiary no more, man. I say, so that kind of like come with the cycle, you know, because at that time, you know, I was in the transitional phase in my life. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, dealing with switches that I didn't have to deal with while I was incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had to learn how to, you know, deal with other people's feelings at face value. Not through a phone, not through a letter, not in a video. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm still dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just like him, I got a great support system. You know what I'm saying? I got a motherfucker that you know that don't want to see me suffer at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that rubbed me the wrong way, because I just try to get them to see that for 28 years I was an individual. You know, so I had to carry myself a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know what I'm saying, I see I don't need to be an individual. You know, I can be an individual, and you know, it don't necessarily have to be one thing. You know, I can, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm grabbing hold to it, man. You know, and I love this shit, man. I just came from Springfield. I'm learning the game of what it takes. You know what I'm saying, to be responsible for other people. You know what I'm saying, and I'm learning it the legit way. You know what I'm saying. I'm putting it in their face that I myself was once an individual that you saying that you despise, but here it is. I sit in front of you. You know what I'm saying, and I'm sitting in front of you, telling you that there's thousands more like me. You know what I'm saying, and ultimately, you know what I'm saying, the homies is coming home. You know, it's been so many guys that done came home before me, and since I done been home, that I literally did 20 plus years in prison with. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that they can't take from us, no matter how much time you did, they can't take your story from you, man, because prison affect everybody differently. And I just want these people to know, man, that, you know, a lot of us are not our worst mistake. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the picture that was painted about me. You know what I'm saying? But like he said, I literally had 4 white people.
Yeah.
From Menard.
Country white people too.
6 hours away from Chicago. You know, come and tell the judge that, you know, they used to look forward to talking to me because of my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to tell them that, man, what the fuck you complaining about? Talking about, you know, I don't want to go home and do this. I don't want to go home and do that. Come in here, let me go. You know what I'm saying? And I just used to paint that picture. You know what I'm saying? So, but shit, that wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Shit. So, but ultimately, man, I made it home. December 9th to be 3 years.
I remember that. My auntie called me like,
that's a good Christmas.
My auntie called me like, don't come to my house. Your daddy finna be here. I'm like, what happened? She's like, I'm finna send you the address. I hung up the phone. I looked at my brother. I'm like, man, she said, Pops gonna be at her crib. He's like, nah. Oh yeah, we gotta go. I'm like, let's go.
Let's go.
All I know, I was here the whole time I was there. Like, if I was to pull up them pictures, all you see his teeth.
Them 2 dudes was freaking frack, man.
I got on them too.
If I caught one, I caught the other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years in December, man, and
them 3 years he been home, he ain't let me down not one time. No doubt. He ain't let me down not one time. Our relationship ain't done nothing but got better and better. It just gets better and better. Like every single time we interact. I know, like anytime I feel like I'm in a bind or like I just can't figure something out, I know I can call him and he gonna guide me through it the right way. That's all I expect from him. Like you would think with him being gone for as long as he was, like I would expect much more from him, but I don't expect that from him. I just expect him to be there for me the way that he always has, and he does that above and beyond. So like you would think that I would be like, we gotta spend time together all the time. You gotta be over here, I gotta be over there. We gotta like no, like I don't expect that from him. I expect him to do what he's doing. I expect him like I knew when he came home that his number one goal was gonna be to reach back and help other people. I knew that for sure. Like I didn't have no doubts about that at all. I knew that that's something that he was gonna do. Yeah. And it's based off people who I met while I was incarcerated. Like people would hear my last name and they'd walk up on me and be like, "Your daddy just got out of jail." Somebody, you know me? I'm like, what nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, no man, I'm just saying like. And then I've been watching like, you know, the way you carry yourself, you haircut, you keep your haircut all the time. He like, no, I'm just, man, your daddy a good nigga, man. Like, talking to me about how they met him and how like this one dude tell me like, man, like I was finna whoop this nigga ass, and like he like, your daddy just walked up to me and was like, man, cool head prevail, man. You know, you might not want to do that. And he just walked off. And he like, and me like being the type of nigga I was, like I couldn't believe that shit. And he like, and I just knew that was somebody who I needed to talk to. And he like, since I met your daddy, I ain't been shit.
That's my man. The dude you talk about, I talked to earlier.
That's my boy. And he a big swole, big swole nigga who you would think would be angry.
I talked to him.
Nice, cool ass nigga, like nice as hell, cool as hell.
He don't know. Los don't know what you don't know about Los is. Los got me through because I met Los when I went to Stateville. When I went to Stateville, I was already the process to me to get resentenced already had started. So I knew I was coming home, and it's like
I ain't gonna lie. I knew when he went to Stateville, I knew he was coming home too because it was closer to the city.
Yeah, in my mind, I was more or less like
they brought him up here because they don't want to be transporting him from down there to court all this time.
So now it's like one. You know, it was to be totally honest and fair. I had got used to being down there, man. I had found my way. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't, you know, just on no Jeff and shit, and you know what I'm saying. I wasn't that dude. You know what I'm saying? I was well respected. You know what I'm saying? Because I respected people. You know what I'm saying? So I did get used to it. You know what I'm saying? And when they shipped me, of course, that's because I knew what was going on down there. You know what I'm saying? I knew although it was closer to the city, it was a lot of shit that I didn't want to be involved in.
Oh yeah, Stateville.
To be totally honest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a lot of niggas that I didn't want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I knew ultimately I'm finna go home. And I'm like, man, I don't want to be around. I don't want to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I went down there with that mentality that I always used to preach to him. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had to sit for a certain amount of time, and while I was sitting, I was right. Let me get a job. Let me get the job. Let me get the job. I knew if I got a job, any motherfucker I see, I could talk to. You can't tell me nothing to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm getting ready to get resentenced just in case I don't get no time to sit or serve. This is all the things that I had started to think about now. You know what I'm saying? In a better position. I knew ultimately it was going to be a possibility that I might have to leave Stateville and go to another joint and leave from there. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't what I wanted to do. I wanted Stateville to be my last spot. I felt like I had did enough time. You know what I'm saying? And things went my way. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, COVID came about, but COVID played a crucial part in me coming home. You know what I'm saying? Fuck around eating that prison food all the years. I ended up with high blood pressure.
Man. That's
so
salty ass, unseasoned.
The motherfucking foot long.
Putting them big boys together. Yeah.
All the stuff that's not good for you is the only stuff that you can eat.
Yeah.
So, ultimately I filed a clemency, man, and the governor let me go like a year early. So
that's what's up.
Ever since then, man, I just been, I love going to work. I always tell people, I used to get up and go to work every motherfucking day in the joint. So and I literally was making $1 a day sometimes, but I got up with the aspect of I'd rather be going to work and doing what it is, staying busy, keeping my mind busy, than sitting in this motherfucking cell. I hated being in the cell. And then Menard, you stayed on lockdown all the time, because then people, they was just locking shit down. So when I got to the Ville, man, Los used to just keep me laughing. You know what I'm saying? I had started working out. I had gained a little weight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had gained a little weight. You know what I'm saying? And he used to just keep me laughing. And when I first got down there, I didn't want to be down there, so I wasn't trying to introduce myself to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I saw niggas that I had been bitten with already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, what? It's a long story, Joe. I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, and me and Los was on the same gallery. So the day that he talking about, some nigga done pissed him off. Los real opinionated, as you can tell. You know what I'm saying? He pissed him off, and I see he finna get him. The nigga don't even know he finna get him. He don't even know he finna get him.
Big like Dane. Right.
He don't even know he finna get him, but I see because we working out together. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know him. But you ain't got to know nobody to work out. I jump in line. You next. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I see him. You know what I'm saying? And I tell him, I'm like, man, leave that shit alone, man. That nigga don't even want to fight. He don't even know you finna get him. And walked off. And he didn't. He didn't even know you finna get him, man. The same nigga got whooped like 2 weeks later on the same yard. So, it's when you surround yourself with people like that, and because Los still fights now to this day. Yeah. Los living through me right now. Los just called me to laugh. And that's what I love. I could be mad and be done went through some shit, you know what I'm saying? And I get the phone and see and I hit it. Ultimately when they call, you can hear their name. Yeah. I hear the name and I be like, yeah, this nigga here, man. I'm mad, don't want to talk, because I always tell my baby, I say, the homies can feel my energy. Yeah. I can't accept the call for them when I'm mad and then be like, what ass, nigga? You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna be like, what ass? I'm gonna be like, damn, no, what's wrong? Nah, I don't want to tell them whatever it is that I'm going through. I want to be like, that ain't nothing, Joe. What's happening? Tell me what's going on, Joe. You know what I'm saying? I want to instantly try to see if it's something that I can do for them. You know what I'm saying? I know what they calling me for. You know what I'm saying? When I do call, I mean when I do accept their call, because lately I've been busy in the motherfucker and I ain't been accepting them like I usually do.
Up like that, it's just gonna keep going up.
Yeah, so Los don't know, man. Los still helping me to this day.
That's good.
He do not know, man. He called me. He just be wanting to laugh, bro. He just be wanting to laugh and talk about sports. He literally called me today with a parlay ticket, asking me what it do, like what FanDuel do, because that was like a thing that I did while I was in there. So he trying to, he trying to do his little tools and fuse, and he slided in. He hit me when you can. You can't do nothing but honor that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every chance I get. You know what I'm saying?
There's been a time when Loston I'd have been in my cell and Loston called me like, hey, Dvante, how come it was like, yo, Pop's a real nigga, man. Just send me 150. I'm like, I got a receipt today too. Man. Send me 150 too. Man, like, that's crazy. I remember that day. I remember that day. Because he was so excited to tell me that he had met you. Yeah. I was in my mind, I knew shit was gonna be good. I was like,
yeah, he's gonna be straight now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they gave us maybe like we need a part 2 because that was good. But I definitely thank both of y'all for coming to y'all.
Yeah, man, I liked it.
It's like the more you talk about it, the easier it becomes, and then you just get to remembering all type of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
it's a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still a whole lot more that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I love the space that we in. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I still want to be there for them more. You know what I'm saying? I still want to, you know what I'm saying, experience things with them. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that we know that's going to happen in the future that I'm now going to be able to experience with them that I wasn't able to experience before. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, man, let me get that. Get the fuck on. Man, I can't wait. What I'm saying? I can't wait. You know, those are the things that, right now it may seem small, but it's huge. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that, what I'm saying, that I really appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Because I still don't know how I'm gonna react. Just the other day, I had the fortune to be around a little baby. You know what I'm saying? Gorgeous little girl. I love kids. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that just ain't an aspect that I need to be thinking about right now. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I love kids, and I can't not, mess with them and play with them. And the little girl so gorgeous, and you know what I'm saying? So somebody asked me.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Look, somebody asked me to hold a little baby. I was like, nah. I'm straight, but in my mind, I want you bad as hell. Yeah. To be totally honest, I'm like, I'm knowing eventually before the night over, I'm gonna gravitate to the girl. And that's ultimately what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I was with you. Every time I was with you, I had you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I always used to get chastised for letting you sleep on my chest. Ain't nothing wrong with me straight. Go. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my time. Because I knew at the end of the night, whenever I slid from up under him, I knew I was headed back out in the street. You know what I'm saying? So, but I love to do this shit again. So,
we definitely gonna do a part 2, y'all, because
we could do a series of this shit.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because it's a whole lot of players in the game. Ultimately, well, let me reiterate that. It's a whole lot of important players in the game. Mm-hmm. One thing I realized that social media a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Social media a motherfucker. It has its pros, it has its cons, right? So I think as far as the social media aspect, depending on how you use it, that's how it's gonna use you.
Yep.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So I had went through a little phase when I came home. I was always posting positive quotes, and that's the shit that made me through. You know what I'm saying? It was simple to me, like, cause I see some shit and be like, man, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Motherfucker don't know that's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really don't do that now, but man, I speak to the people real quick. A lot of the shit that y'all don't know, you don't know it for a reason.
Yep.
Don't be scared to ask questions or find out or take the time to just see if somebody going through something.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it ain't always about you, man. You know, I'm learning that, you know, people have days because I have all the motherfucking time.
Everybody is
you know, that's why I reiterated and said the important people. Because the important people is going to take the time to, you know, no matter what it is, they ain't going to be like, I can't believe he did that shit to me, or I can't believe he said that shit to me. I ain't fucking with him no more. You know, the important people going to be like, I don't know who you think you talk to, but I'm going to give you a little bit of time. And we're going to talk about it in a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know somebody is important, when you take the time to revisit what it is that you did, revisit what it is that you said, and try to make yourself better for that individual. Because ultimately, it's going to make you a better individual. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that I learned. No matter who you get it from, when you use it right, it's going to be good. You know, so take care of the people that take care of you in your life, from the smallest to the biggest, for real. Because you never know, you know, when you're going to have the opportunity to take care of somebody, man, and it may change somebody's life.
Yep.
So,
yeah, part two. We definitely got to go part two. We're definitely. Where you going?
I ain't going nowhere. I gotta stretch my legs.
Oh. Well, this is Memoirs and Some, the podcast. I am your girl, Myia Dominique. We had. I'm not calling him James, but y'all, yeah.
Well, my name is James, but since the days of when I felt like I was the shit.
Oh Lord, I know what
everybody called me Swan.
Yeah.
You know, that was more or less. It was Swan. It was Little Swan. So.
But they all have a big Swan.
I'm on some grown folk shit now. I'm James. I'm James in this setting. So it helped me maintain, you know. The balance that's another thing. The balance is easy for me to maintain.
Yeah.
You know, I think because at the end of the day, I know it's a means to an end. This shit is real, man. It's real.
It's definitely real.
I appreciate you having me, though.
I'm definitely, man, y'all.
I remember when you first told me about it. Remember what I told you?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely
trying to get on that, then, you know?
Yeah, so I thought that topic would be great, and of course, they killed it. So, we
I
had
want some questions.
You want some questions?
I want some questions.
He basically saying,
don't be asking no BS.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So
ask some questions.
Y'all watch comments and questions, Q&As, and then we'll revisit
and do the part two.
And part two is we'll answer y'all questions.
Cool.
I can go with that.
Okay. And then that way he'll have more.
I'm picking my questions, though. I'm just letting you know.
If I like the question, I ain't gonna answer.
And I ain't gonna say no names, because when I be doing Q&As, y'all be being real testy in my comments. So I ain't saying no names. You know your question if you hear it.
See, the one thing I gotta worry about with that is, that's gonna be with you. The audience, my audience, don't, you gotta think, you have to have a motherfucker that's talking about shit before 1993. Oh, man.